Mandeepji, my first question to you is that you're saying on May 26th, your father-in-law was diagnosed with 100 fever.
Mhm.
But when did the consultation process with doctors of different hospitals begin?
From 26 to 29, we just, gave him those cold water. And so we basically, whatever our home remedies for heat stroke, that's what we did. But when on 29th also, the temperature was still around 100 only. So we took an online consulting. So that doctor gave an online consulting
Hmm.
that you should take some paracetamol and some medicine, biodexy or something like that. So we took those medicines from 29, 30, and so on again, if the temperature was still around 100, 100.5 or something like that.
Hmm.
So then we said, okay, now let us go and get the test done.
Hmm.
So we then went to Ganga Ram. That okay, let's get the test done in Ganga Ram. And the X-ray was done, and the person said that there is a chest infection.
Hmm.
So give your blood test. And once you give the blood test, the report will come out tomorrow morning.
Hmm.
So you can check the results online. Now you need not come over here at all.
Hmm.
Okay, whatever needs to be done, we will tell you ourselves.
Hmm.
Okay, now if you require to be admitted, we'll call you and we'll tell you come and get admitted. If
Hmm.
you need to be given any medication at home, then we will call you and tell you these are the medications, stay at home and do those things.
Hmm.
Okay, so on
Hmm.
1st of June, I took the slip that the hospital had issued, and then
Hmm.
I downloaded the report at about 8:30. And when I downloaded the report, so it was positive.
Hmm.
So obviously now the next things for us was one that we expected that now since it's come out positive and Gangaram has been very clear in terms of telling us do not come, we will communicate. So one was that we expected they will call us up.
Right.
Okay. Second was that we started talking in our network of friends and family to see what we should do and what we shouldn't do. So a lot of suggestions came and we purchased those medicines and all that stuff also, which included basically two main things. One was fever controlling, which was I don't know the name exact, but the fever
Hmm.
controlling paracetamol or crocin or calpol, one of those. And the second was because he's an asthmatic, so was that nebulizer with Dublin or something like that. Yeah,
So he was 68. He had an underlying condition which is directly a respiratory disease with asthma. Did you
yeah.
try reaching out to other hospitals apart from Sir Ganga Ram Hospital?
So on the 1st of June, we obviously tried once Ganga Ram. So since
Hmm.
we weren't able to get through, so then we then started talking to other hospitals to see how this process would go. Now, our intent was predominantly in that first and second or third was to try and get a doctor's advice
Hmm.
because a doctor should be able to see and say basis this diagnosis I want to put you in a home quarantine and have these medicines, or basis these things I want to admit you. Then we tried to talk to Safdarjung AIIMS, and it was impossible getting through because they were more on the, so we had to try and figure out if there were some network connections to get in, because as a general audience, general population, AIIMS
Hmm.
and Safdarjung said, no, we won't admit because we are full already.
So they outrightly, as far as AIIMS and Safdarjung Hospital are concerned, they outrightly rejected admission, saying that they didn't have beds.
Yeah, yeah, they didn't have that. So they
Okay.
said no, yeah. And that's when then we tried to reach out to the government helplines because we wanted to know what is the process now. If you go to the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, they have a list of COVID helplines for all India. Central helpline picked up the phone number,
Hmm.
and when we talked to them, so he said that I will give you these 5-10 numbers. Please call up these numbers.
Hmm.
So as he started giving, so we said, no, these are the Delhi helpline number, which we have already called, and none of them are being answered.
Hmm.
So he said, no. So I said, we want to talk to somebody, meet somebody, so that they can advise us whether admission is necessary or not, and what medicines to take. If that we get, then we don't have a problem in getting admitted, but at least we need medical advice. So he said, no, that's not my job. I really can't do anything beyond giving you information of your local things. We said, okay, that's fine then.
Hmm.
So it ended over there. Delhi helplines, we kept on trying. Nobody answered. We kept on trying many times. Actually, we would have tried, I think, on second and third. And that's when then we, took this help
Not
of
a
Twitter.
not a
Yeah.
single time did anyone on the Delhi helpline number pick your call.
Yeah, no, not they have 8 to 10 numbers, so you can try all of them. Maybe now today they will start working because of all the news, but I mean we checked and that's the reason we put it on Twitter. They
Okay.
were always busy. They said the person is busy, he's talking to the other person, talking to the other person, and it's not that it's 9 to 6 or you call at 11 in the night, you call at 6
Hmm.
in the morning.
Hmm.
It's like that only. So we
Hmm.
dropped that idea. We said that's not really working.
Hmm.
So we will then go ahead
Hmm.
with the Twitter thing.
So, so
So
you tried all the helplines and then you took to Twitter, and then of course some representatives you're saying reached out to you. At
yeah,
that point of time, Amarpreet ji wrote a tweet saying that she was thankful to Dilip Pandey and
yes,
others for
yeah.
immediate attention and said that they are proceeding on next steps as advised by doctors. So my question is, what were those steps that were advised by doctors? A, and
Mhm.
were they followed actually?
Yeah, so there was just one advice. That one advice is, so we said we are giving him asthma medicine and we are giving him this paracetamol for fever.
Hmm.
Okay. So now, so they said that that's the right advice. Carry on. You need to do two things. One, if he has problem breathing, you need to immediately tell us so that we can arrange a hospital.
Hmm.
Second, if his temperature crosses 101, you need to immediately tell us so that we cross, do the hospital thing.
Hmm.
Okay. Though they said that, if it happens, it will not happen. But if it happens, let us know. So we
Hmm.
said, okay, but again, how I would classify this doctor's advice is also on the friends and family thing. It's not that somebody looked at him, met him, and then gave the advice. It's on third night, which is yesterday night,
Hmm.
that we saw that his temperature has gone up to 102.
Hmm.
So actually 101.2 or 101, maybe
Hmm.
zero point 0.5, something like that, and beyond 100, 101.
Hmm.
So we decided that, okay, tomorrow morning we will take him to hospital and take a specific advice, because we, advice from doctor.
Hmm.
So during this time, as I said, because whenever we were calling hospital that we would want to bring a COVID patient for advice, so they were saying that you need to admit,
Hmm.
only then bring, otherwise no, don't bring. And a lot
Right.
of hospitals had said no. Like Mulchand, we had reached out to, they had said no, we don't do COVID.
Hmm.
So that was dropped. Otherwise, Mulchand is right across,
Hmm.
where they stay. Today morning, we got, at about 5 o'clock when he woke up, so he had 102 temperature. So we decided, okay, since we in any case had to go, so now let's just go to the hospital. So then we started calling the ambulances.
Hmm.
So we first called up the Max ambulance.
Hmm.
They just refused. They said, no, we can't take any more patients because our beds are full. But if you go to the website of Delhi government,
Hmm.
it still says that they have vacant beds. It gives a good number, I think 70 or 80 or something like that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay.
So
So,
when they actually denied your bed on June 4th morning, the app showed that they had beds, right?
yeah.
Okay.
It shows.
And a good number
So,
of them.
yeah, good numbers. It's
Hmm.
not that one or two which
Hmm.
will suddenly
Hmm.
get occupied.
Hmm.
So because it was then we suddenly got paranoid that if Max is saying no, then what will we do? So we told them, no, it's an emergency, so we will bring a patient in any case, even if you don't send the ambulance.
Hmm.
So they said, no, please do not bring, because even if you bring your patient, we will send them back. We will not look at them, because we have had 12 of our own staff getting COVID. So we are, totally occupied. All
Hmm.
beds are done. So we are not seeing patients.
So Max was out.
Yeah, Max was out.
Hmm.
And then Gangaram again we tried, because then our focus was on ambulance. So we tried the ambulance number.
Hmm.
Okay. That I think Gangaram again it just rang, and so we dropped it. So that also didn't happen. So then we decided, okay, we will call up this Delhi government helpline called 1031,
Hmm.
because when they launched the app, so we saw that they have this number called 1031, that if a hospital says no to you, then what you should do, kind of thing. So
Hmm.
we called up 1031. So when we called up the Delhi government helpline 1031,
Hmm.
so they said that LNJP has 1100 beds free. so you can go there. So we thought that, it makes sense, because if Dilip is saying that it is good, and they have beds also, 1100 is a decent number. They can't suddenly fill up those beds in, 1 hour that we will take
Yes.
from reaching. So we said, okay, we'll go to LNJP.
Hmm.
Now, so this is the time then my brother-in-law, along with the cousin,
Hmm.
my father-in-law and my mother-in-law, all four of them went.
Hmm.
I started with my wife from Gurgaon. They parked the car in front of the LNJP COVID, that area that they have,
Hmm.
and they went inside, both of them, the brother-in-law and a cousin, his cousin.
Hmm.
The mother-in-law, father-in-law waited in the car. They
Hmm.
were just chit-chatting with each other.
Hmm.
They went in, they talked to the doctor, and the doctor said the COVID has come out from which location, so which hospital. So we said it's Ganga Ram Hospital.
Hmm.
So he picked that point and he said, no, if it's Ganga Ram, then you have to take him to Ganga Ram. So whatever the brother may have consulted, but the doctor, remained adamant that you'll have to go to Ganga Ram. I can't do anything. So
So he
then he
refused
called us.
admission.
Yeah, he refused admission.
Hmm.
So then from inside itself, he called us up. Yeah.
LNGP refused you admission on June 4th morning. That is today.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when we then, he called us up that LNJP is refusing admission. They're saying go to Gangaram. We were
Hmm.
driving. So we said, okay, if they are also doing this, so you drive to Gangaram. Okay,
Hmm.
then we will not go to LNJP. We will also reach there only. So as he then came out of that room, okay, to the car, okay, he
Hmm.
saw that his father-in-law,
Hmm.
suddenly fainted. Okay, so
Oh.
inside the car only.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
so then he ran, and suddenly he tried to take him out, and then he told those people, all the people who were standing there in PPE kits, because if you go to the welcome bay of LNJP, they have some stairs, 4 5 stairs, and then little area
Hmm.
where these people stand
Hmm.
above that area. So he told them, he's something is happening to him, please help.
Hmm.
So they responded, no, it's a Gangaram case, please go to Gangaram. So
God.
he said, no, no, something is happening, you need to come. So then he pulled them out, and there was a stretcher lying on the road,
Hmm.
near his car. So he pulled the stretcher.
Hmm.
So alone he pulled the stretcher to himself.
Hmm.
So they again said, please don't pull a stretcher. This is a Gangaram case. Please go to Gangaram. Don't come here.
How petty.
So yeah, he
Hmm.
now, my father-in-law is about 75, 80 kgs. So he
Hmm.
and the cousin tried to put him on the stretcher, but
Hmm.
they weren't able to. So they called a passerby.
Hmm.
Okay, a passerby, came, helped them, put him
Hmm.
on the stretcher. So three
Hmm.
of them did, whereas all these people kept on standing and seeing this and using the same thing, that he's a Gangaram case, please don't do this.
Hmm.
Okay, okay, okay.
Hmm.
And then he pulled and took because he alone then pulled the stretcher and was bringing it inside that ward.
Hmm.
So again, the doctor and these people said, do not bring him in, because this is a Gangaram case.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
he nevertheless took the stretcher inside that, ward.
Hmm. Hmm.
So then he said, something is happening. Please do something. Please do something. So doctor said, no, I can't do anything. Okay, it's a Gangaram case. So he sat down. He sat down at his desk. He didn't come near to them.
Hmm.
So he then went. He, he then went and pleaded. The doctor touched his feet, folded hands and requested. So doctor said, okay, give me some time, I will come. Then after 10 minutes of his folding hands, the doctor finally came. And then he said, okay, put oxygen, or, whatever he had to do. Okay.
Hmm.
And then he just went. Okay.
Just
So
the LNJP doctor just went inside after doing that.
yeah, went back to his
Hmm.
desk.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So broadly, then he was in panic, and we had still not reached. So he started calling us up. So
Hmm.
we told him that, okay, put pressure on the chest, try and pump start the, heart. He said, nobody's helping. Can you do something? Can you help? So,
Hmm.
so we just told him that try and pump the heart. I mean, that's the only thing we could do.
Hmm.
We said, please try and pump the heart, try and pump the heart.
Hmm.
So as he was trying to do that, then and the 10, 15 minutes or something, then the doctor said, no, there's nothing, he's dead.
He said.
So broadly, then, then by that time, we approximately, that's the time when we reached. So when we reached, so then, my wife went, to say, what are you doing? What are you doing with this? speaking. So the doctor, tells her that, don't speak to me like this, don't talk to me, and don't show me eyes. So doctor told her this.
Don't show me
So
what?
don't show me your eyes.
Hmm.
Okay, the doctor told my
Hmm.
wife.
Don't get
Okay,
it.
yeah, I mean, don't
Yeah,
basically don't
don't.
argue or don't show me your
Yeah,
annoyance or
attitude.
something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then, she said, okay, are you doing anything and all that stuff? But then she went in, so she saw that, father is already, dead.
Mm-hmm.
So then we said, okay, now is the process which we need to follow for taking the body out. Okay, then they said, no, we will now follow the process. You will have to, okay. So we told him, okay, see, since you couldn't do anything, at least now with dignity, please, please let us take the body home. Don't harass us now. Because the doctor said, go to police. Then police said, I have not got the file. You have to walk from the hospital to the police station to this place. Then they said the police will come from GK. So the police, in their usual attitude, so they don't change no matter what happens. So we just said, okay, don't now trouble us like this. That they said it's a long time that the body will be released. So I don't know whether now Dilip got the body released early or what happened, but we got the body eventually, I think.
And then
I
you
don't
did
know
the
whether they,
rituals.
yeah, a very, so let's say if at 7:30 he was at our home and then he had an attack, it
Mm.
is understandable that, but if you're standing in a hospital, it is
Mm.
assumed that if you have a medical condition,
Mm.
you have a whole machinery over there as a system, so they will take care of that. So now whether that attack was a result of COVID, whether it was asthma, whether it's a heart attack, whether it's a heat stroke, whatever it was, the person has fainted. Now, if a person faints in front of a hospital, I mean, in front of your ward, I mean, technically speaking, somebody needs to do something. You can't
Absolutely.
say that go to Ganga Ram. I mean, that's like, I mean, we can't drive to Ganga Ram at that time.
I'm
You
just
know,
trying to equate it to a politician's relative. Would a politician's relative have to go through the entire process, even if he
Yes, I think good
and
you pointed that out because today morning then we called up Medanta also because of Sambit Patra got into Medanta, so that
Hmm.
news came.
Hmm.
So because we are in Gurgaon, so we said if Delhi is coming a problem, let's get him to Medanta because we
Hmm.
didn't know that we have short time. We thought we just had to take him to hospital. We have a
Hmm.
lot of time. So we called up Medanta. And so when we called up Medanta, so they said that, no, we don't admit COVID patients like this. You have to first go to the civil hospital and from civil hospital you will get a reference and then you will come here. So we said no, we
God.
want to bring him in emergency. They said yeah, the process is same. So
It's
so I
laughing
think
stock.
some of our medical fraternity has in the garb of
But this
COVID,
needs.
they are just, I think they're incompetent, and in the garb of COVID they're just justifying their incompetence.
How
Hmm.
much time do you think uh, it the entire process took for you to reach LNJP, and after that for them, after a lot of pleading, for the doctor to come out and just see the patient?
Doctor took minimum 20-25 minutes.
So the process, I think, begins really on June 1st when you downloaded the report, you found it to be positive. Sir Ganga
Hmm.
Ram Hospital had told you that they would get back to you, but they didn't.
Hmm.
Then, of course, you tried looking up for other hospitals. Um, AIIMS refused, Safdarjung refused. Finally, Amarpreet ji had to put out a tweet on 2nd of June. Despite
Hmm.
putting that tweet out, all that the family got was a medical advice, which again wasn't a direct advice, but based on the communication that you gave to do those doctors. But
Hmm.
till June 4th morning, again you weren't actually admitted to a hospital, and on June 4th, when you called up the Delhi government's helpline, they said
Hmm.
that they had 1100 beds available, but when you went to
Hmm.
the hospital and you communicated to them that it's an emergency case as well,
Hmm.
despite that, they got stuck on a technicality, which was that please go to Gangaram Hospital because that's where
Hmm.
the report has come out positive from, right? Am I correct?
Yes, yes, yeah.
Hmm. And in
They were,
between, of course,
yeah.
you tried the central government helpline. All that they did was they redirected you to Delhi government's helplines. You're saying that you tried uh, as many as 7 to 8 Delhi government helpline numbers, but all were busy and you couldn't get through even a single call.
Yeah, that tend to happen. And so we hear so much in news about contact tracing. These people have been put in quarantine and all those stories. So since June 1, when he was tested positive, till today, there is no notice of quarantine. Ideally, if they were so worried, somebody would have reached their house and put a quarantine notice,
Hmm.
so that this is a COVID house and all that stories that they do,
None
or
of that was done.
yeah, nothing, no, nothing. And not only that, I mean, our Arogya Setu apps, which we are all using, that it'll help me and
Hmm.
prevent me. It's not showing. My mother-in-law uses, my father-in-law uses.
Hmm.
Both of them, it still says it's fine. None of them came red, okay, or none of them said it's happened. So today, then I deleted my Arogya Setu. I said everything is a sham. So why? I mean, so
No, I
because
understand your frustration. I understand your frustration.
um, reporters also told me that Ganga Ram actually told him that no, this patient was advised home quarantine and he was under home quarantine.
Hmm.
So I was saying, well, if that's the case, then they must have issued some prescription. They must
Which they
have
didn't.
issued, yeah, they must have issued something in writing. Na?
Hmm.
So we are saying, just show us that, because we don't know anything, no prescription, no guidelines. And if we were given home quarantine, then where is the government machinery? Because we are told that a health worker will call you.
Hmm.
We are told that there'll be contact tracing. We are told that there'll be, actually I had got prepared that because I had gone to drop in medicines.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I thought that now I'll be also put under 14-day home quarantine. And so we had all planned for 14-day quarantine. Okay, but
Which
as of
hasn't been
today,
done. Which
no,
hasn't been done.
nothing.
Hmm. Hmm.
Now
Hmm.
that's our priority, that we are trying to get the testing done, because now when we're trying to reach private labs,
Hmm.
they are saying you need to come on Monday. Okay,
Why?
so because they're saying we are full already.
If a death certificate was issued as death on arrival at 7:37, then
Hmm.
why did Amarjeet ji put out that tweet somewhere at around
8 o'clock or 8:30.
8:05,
Yeah.
8:05?
Hmm.
Yeah. So,
Hmm.
so to that, I think you did say something right in the beginning of this call.
Yeah. So what I said was that see, when we were there, we
Hmm.
were wanting all our people to help us, all our so whoever could help us. So we called our relatives, our friends,
Hmm.
whoever could help us get the admission done in LNJP.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
So Amarpreet had called up one of our friends
Hmm.
saying that I am facing this problem at LNJP. So can you please tweet on the same thing, because if that Twitter message had got traction, so
Hmm.
she said, can you please tweet on the same thing, so
Hmm.
that at least there is some pressure on LNJP to admit him. So that we had done while talking.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
So obviously once we reached there, so that was in parallel process that she was doing, the
Hmm.
friend of Amapi. So she posted at 8 or whenever now. So
S-
those are the
s-
times that they posted. Amapreet was obviously there,
And
she
she was
was
obviously in
inside.
a devastated state because her father had just passed away. So you're saying essentially her friend was using her Twitter account, just helping her out
Yeah.
to amplify the message of help, right?
Yeah, because
Okay,
we were
got
trying
it.
to use whatever help we could
Of
at that
course,
time to address an issue, which was to get
of
him admitted.
course.
So she was standing there. So she had told her friend to write on Twitter so that help can come, because she can't be standing there and writing.
Sure.
Okay. So which is why her friend had written. So maybe she wrote at 8 and 8:21. So while I am saying about 7:30, everything got over. So you
Mm-hmm.
know so everybody were doing independent things, so
No,
exact timing, if
understandable.
you go, it will not
It's
match
understandable.
obviously. Yeah, by and large around that time he was
Hmm.
already gone. So then we were more in a trying mode to see if there is anything that can be done, not done, or whatever.
But I think
Yeah,
beyond that as well, even if it was
yeah,
7:30 or whatever, but I'm really keen on
yeah.
seeing how the family had to run from pillar to post.